Hey everyone, my name is Wedge and we're back with the Best of the Rest series covering all the Journey into Nyx spoilers not released individually. Today we're looking at red cards. Brace yourselves. Or not. It's just a spoiler video. The first card we're looking at is a Crowan Linebreaker. 3 mana for a 2/1 human warrior with Heroic. Whenever you cast a spell that targets him, he gets +2/+0 and gains Intimidate until end of turn. Sure, this guy has 1 toughness, but the Intimidate and Power Boost are nice. If you can get a spell on this guy, assuming your opponent isn't playing red, that's a quick 4 unblockable damage. I've heard red mages like damage people can't do anything about. The problem is that he's 3 mana for a 2/1, not exactly the aggressive cost red players are used to. He's interesting. I think he'll fit into some draft decks, but by no means is he a bomb. Bladetusk Boar is 4 mana for a 3/2 boar with Intimidate. I'm starting to see a pattern here. This creature having Intimidate rather than needing to trigger it is pretty strong. A 3/2 for 4 is but with pseudo unblockable it isn't half bad. Expensive, but it can lay on the beats. Look at those tusks. Ouch. Blinding Flare is 1 red mana for a sorcery with Strive, costing 1 red mana more to cast for each target beyond the first. Any number of target creatures can't block this turn. This is something I can get into. It's super cheap, does exactly what a red deck wants to do, and the Strive cost is low. All the red we've seen so far in this video is about avoiding combat. I kinda like it. Just flare everything your opponent has, and that's a free attack phase. It's a good card. Flamespeaker's Will is 1 red mana for an enchant creature aura. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1. Whenever enchanted creature deals combat damage to a player, you may sacrifice Flamespeaker's Will. If you do, destroy target artifact. Mortal Obstinacy did it better. While this doesn't destroy most relevant things, the Will does provide a cheap heroic enabler and a nice buff for a creature. I guess everyone playing Bronze Sables should be shaking in their booties. Flurry of Horns is 5 mana for a sorcery that lets you put 2/2/3 red Minotaur creature tokens with haste onto the battlefield. The dream continues! Not gonna lie, don't even care if this card is any good. Sure, it's 5 mana, okay, sorcery speed, whatever. More Minotaurs are always better than less Minotaurs. It's math, guys. Come on. Gluttonous Cyclops is 6 mana for a 5/4 with Monstrosity 3 for 7 mana. Well, isn't he just a doll? He's a late game bomb. His Monstrosity gives you a good mana sink when you have nothing else to do, but for the most part, you're going to be turning this guy sideways over and over again until he dies. Good late game beater. Knowledge and Power is 5 mana for an enchantment. Whenever you scry, you may pay 2. If you do, Knowledge and Power deals 2 damage to target creature or player. The ability is really cool. It follows a long line of cards like this that focus on a mechanic or keyword during a certain block. Scars of Mirrodin sacrifice permanents for Furnace Celebration. Innistrad block flashback spells for Burning Vengeance. Even Lightning Rift all the way back in Onslaught cycled cards for damage. Yes, Lightning Rift got played, but the difference between that and these other iterations is that it was cheap enough. Sure, Burning Vengeance had some fringe play, but I wouldn't call it a staple anywhere. Knowledge and Power, while having a really cool ability, needs an enabler, needs the mana to cast it, needs the mana to use it, and you still need to protect yourself while doing all this. I like this card, trust me. The mana cost really is the only thing holding me back. Lightning Diadem is 6 mana for an enchant creature aura. When it enters the battlefield, it deals 2 damage to target creature or player. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2. This is a limited card. It's obviously made for the format. Super expensive, deals damage coming in, and gives a decent buff to a creature, possibly also triggering heroic. It's a late game aura bomb, removal with a power toughness boost. I like it. Pensive Minotaur is 3 mana for a 2/3 man-cow bear bull. Pretty sure he's just holding a guy's leg in his hand. Minotaurs are just the best. Rollick of Abandon is 5 mana for a sorcery that gives all creatures +2/-2 until end of turn. All creatures. Everyone's. This is hysterical. I can just imagine this in multiplayer games. What havoc you can wreak. This is so flavorful and awesome. In Limited, I could see this as a late game card. Make everything huge in either alpha swing or force a board wipe through combat. It's very interesting. It forces you to think. It's good on you, Red. Rouse the Mob is 1 red mana for an instant with Strive that costs 3 more to cast for each target beyond the first. Any number of target creatures each get +2/+0 and trample until end of turn. Another okay Strive card. Not amazing, but it's cheap, so it enables heroic cheaply. This will see limited play. If you run heroic creatures, you're probably going to want as many of these kinds of spells as you can get, is basically what I'm saying. Sigilled Skink is 2 mana for a 2/1 lizard. Whenever it attacks, scry 1. I like this. The sigilled situation they have going on right now is awesome. First the Starfish and now this. Sure, it's only a 2/1 and it'll probably die in its first attack, but you get a scry out of it and it'll probably at least trade with something. If they have nothing to deal with it, you just get free scries. How is that not awesome? Next up is Starfall. 5 mana for an instant, Starfall deals 3 damage to target creature. If that creature is an enchantment, Starfall deals 3 damage to that creature's controller. Nice! This is a more intense version of Searing Blood. It won't be difficult to hit an enchantment, especially in limited. It is 5 mana, but the instant speed helps, and being able to lightning bolt a creature and a player is pretty good in limited, even at 5 mana. If you don't have enough removal in your deck, this could be decent. The last red card we're looking at today is Wildfire Cerberus. 5 mana for a 4/3 Hound with Monstrosity 1 for 7 mana. When it becomes monstrous, it deals 2 damage to each opponent and each creature your opponents control. Well, isn't this guy just ill-tempered? 5 mana 4/3 is something we've seen before. It's not all that exciting. The Monstrosity is pretty cool. The sooner you can get to that, the sooner you could do a number on your opponent's side of the battlefield. Even when you get to late game, there are always creatures with 2 toughness hanging around. Even without that, at least he becomes a 5/4, much more formidable even if it's just +1/+1. It's a very interesting late game card. Well, that brings us to the end of the red cards. What do you guys think? Not gonna lie, white seems to be in a lot better of a position right now as far as Journey into Nyx is concerned. But remember, limited formats utilize all 3 sets, so who knows? Maybe the red cards in this set are meant to synergize with the other sets rather than be good on their own. Maybe we'll talk about this in our pre-release guide that'll come out tomorrow. Who knows? Anyway, remember to subscribe below for the latest and most reliable Journey into Nyx spoiler information you could ever need. This is the Manosaurus. I'm Wedge. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.